start with, I'm sorry, did you say? You could start with Shaw. We could go.
Ariana Shaw.
Yes, please.
Permission for my client to have her.
Absolutely.
Right here. Yeah.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 25-00886. That is people of the state of Michigan versus Ariana Shaw. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mrs. L.
Thank you, Your Honor. Gabrielle Ezel, Assistant Prosecutor for the people.
Mr. Harris.
Assistant Public Defender James Harris here on behalf of Miss Ariana Shaw, who is standing to my right, Your Honor.
And ma'am, you are Ariana Shaw, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. This is the time set for a jury trial in the matter. Mrs. L, how we proceed?
Your Honor, at this time, the necessary witnesses in the people's case are unable to be here. I phrase it that way because we have tried very hard to get the necessary witness here today. However, she lives in Nevada and does not have a real ID, which is a new law that has been enacted since March that is required in order to fly. At this time, she is unable to travel to Michigan due to that failure to have the real ID. And we would be asking to issue a nollie in this case.
All right. And is that your understanding, Mr. Harris, the people are going to nollie pros today. Is that your understanding? And I'm assuming you don't have an objection to that.
Yes, Your Honor, that is my objection. That is my understanding, and we do not have any objection to that. I spoke with the prosecutor regarding this issue last week, and my understanding was the case was to be dismissed.
So I'm going to have that printed out for the prosecutor to sign the nollie. And we kind of, this is part of this with making a record. So there's, if anybody looks back on this, there's an understanding as to what happened on the file. Because I know this file has been set at least once. It was set out for June, was set on May 6th. And at that time, the complaining victim was willing to come, but didn't have, then we found out she didn't have a real ID.
Correct, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, once the nollie process signed, I would simply request a copy be provided to my client.
Absolutely. I have a no contact order.
Yes.
There is no GPS. So Ms. Shaw, I'm going to provide you with a copy of the dismissal. You should carry it with you just in case. It takes about 3 to 4 hours to purge it completely from the computer system. So I don't want you picked up on anything that with the case dismissed. All right. So based on the nollie process from the prosecutor, I'm signing. This is dismissed without prejudice, which is really the default. Realistically, the case is dismissed. It could be reissued if the people choose to, but realistically, the case is dismissed today. You can get a copy of the nollie process for yourself just to have with you. Okay. All right. Anything else for the record in 25-00886 and Mrs. L?
After the people.
Mr. Harris.
Not for the defense, Your Honor.
All right,
Thank you.
Ms. Shaw, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, Mr. What are we going on next?
If we could actually call Miss Alexis Evans' case.
Evans. That's appropriate.
It is. And that we are also going to be requesting a nollie in that case.
All right, on both files?
Yes, please.
All right, so let's go ahead and print a nollie on both of those files. That's for compliance, I think.
Yes.
And ma'am, you are Alexis Evans, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
All right. This is the time set, and ma'am, you are not represented by counsel today, but you've had the opportunity to speak to the assistant prosecutor in this matter. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. With that understanding, Mrs. Zell, how are we proceeding today if you want to make the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, Ms. Evans has provided a valid license and valid vaccination records for both of her animals, and we would ask that both tickets be dismissed for compliance.
So we are printing out, this must be on a, well, they're both on a ticket.
I think that sounds right.
One's on a ticket. No, they're two tickets. So I can just dismiss them from the bench. Yeah. I might make, so we don't have to print those out. So based on the record, the people move to dismiss without prejudice for compliance purposes. That's my understanding. I'm doing this, not like, my understanding is if it's on a ticket, I think I'm okay to dismiss it. Unless you really wanted a nollie cross on it, Mrs. L.
It's fine either way with me. as
All
long as
right,
it's dismissed.
the record will indicate. All right, so Ms. Evans, both of these files are dismissed without prejudice based for compliance, and you should be all set, ma'am, all right?
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. I might.
Sure. Let me just call one real quick. There, Haley in here? Haley? Yeah, okay.
The prosecutor's checking one final
All
file
right.
for witness, and then we should be ready to go on that.
It's on the Motorola Moto G. Would you please identify yourself? You'll have to unmute. On the Motorola cell phone, Moto G, would you please identify yourself? What's your name, sir? You'll have to unmute. There you go.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, what's your name?
Jonathan Baugh, B-A-U-G-H.
You're here for your 9:30, sir?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right, so go ahead and stand by. You're in the right place. I'll probably call your case. You are not represented by counsel today, is that correct, Mr. Baugh?
Your Honor, Mr. Baugh is my
Oh,
client.
he's yours, all right. So we don't have an appearance on that.
I can speak with my office by getting here.
All right. Did you need to speak with Mr. Baugh?
I can speak with him in a moment. I do have two cases to put on the
Okay.
record. If the court-
All right. So Mr. Baugh, I'm eventually probably going to put you in a breakout room with your public defender, but you're in the right place right now, all right, sir? All right, who'd you want to go on, Mrs. Zell?
I believe we are ready on Max Strauss.
Mr. Strauss.
Yeah, Your Honor.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 25-01392. That is people of the state of Michigan versus Max Strauss. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mrs. Zell.
Thank you, Your Honor. Gabrielle Zell, Assistant Prosecutor for the people.
Mr. Harris.
Assistant Public Defender Jan Terry is here on behalf of Max Strauss, who's standing to my right, Your Honor.
And sir, you are Max Strauss, is that correct?
Your Honor.
Thank you. This is time set for a final pretrial in the matter. Mrs. Zell, how we proceed?
Your Honor, at this time, the people's necessary witnesses have failed to appear. They were subpoenaed for today's date, and we have had prior contact with them, but we have no reason to believe that they wouldn't be here today unless they didn't want to be. At this time, we do expect a motion from the defense.
That is correct, Your Honor. And given the failure of the necessary witnesses to appear for the final pretrial, we would be requesting this case be dismissed at this time, Your Honor.
So I will have printed out at the defense request a motion to dismiss without prejudice for the failure to appear of the complaining victim and the people's inability to proceed today. The complaining victim was subpoenaed. This will be a dismissal without prejudice. And I'll explain to Mr. Strauss what that means. So I'm signing the Nolly Pros concerning 25-01392. Mr. Spouse, based on the defendant's motion for the people's inability to proceed, the motion that is granted to dismiss without prejudice, this could be reissued if the people choose to, but realistically for today's purpose, the case is dismissed. There's no GPS on it. There's a no contact order. And so you should carry around the dismissal with you, at least for the first 4 or 5 hours, because it takes some time to purge it. We don't want you purged on anything. We don't want you picked up on anything that's been purged from the system. So I will sign the dismissal without prejudice. And then we'll provide a copy. Anything else for the record in 25-01392, Mrs. Olive?
Not for the people.
Mr. Harris?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
All
Thank
right,
you.
you're all set, Mr. Strauss. Thank you for your appearance today.
And then, next, Your Honor, I am ready on Mackenzie Garrett Shed. Regarding that case, I would be requesting he be allowed to keep his video off as he is currently undergoing medical care at the hospital.
Any objection to does he have video on or off? I
believe,
because we're on YouTube and that's okay.
Yeah.
I believe we would be requesting it off.
Yes, he did have his video on when I was speaking with him in the breakout room. And